Welcome in, my math party people. Anderson here, your math coach. And what we're going to get into in this video, following up from our previous video on multiplying fractions. And if you're watching on YouTube, you might find that video link somewhere here. But if you're watching in the course, you know that you just got done doing multiplying fractions. Hopefully you've already done the worksheet for it and you've gone ahead, perhaps watched the lesson video and done the speed drills for it. So hopefully by this point, you've mastered it. So if you've mastered multiplying fractions and you've gone through that practice, this is going to be seriously one of the easiest things you'll ever do in dividing fractions. The reason is, simply put, the reason is because dividing fractions is literally multiplying fractions with one step right before it. That's it. That is all dividing fractions is. It is literally multiplying fractions with one small step before it. So let's go ahead and get into it here. I got your back. I'm going to show you these easy questions first. Easy, right? I'm going to show you these more fundamental ones first, and then I'm going to throw in mixed numbers in there as well. But just like with multiplying fractions, whenever you have mixed numbers in there, just turn them into an improper fraction, perform the multiplication, the calculation, and then if you need to, turn it back into a mixed number. That's it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start off right over here. Number one, we have -3/4 divided by -2. Okay, so here's the thing, my party people. We have a whole number here, right? We have a whole number. Now, here's the thing about dividing fractions. The rule is this. The rule is keep, change, flip. Okay? KCF. I'll use 3 different colors here. I'll say keep, change, flip. I'll just mark it like that, okay? Keep, change, flip. It looks like KFC. Nope, it is not KFC. It's keep, change, flip, KCF. So here's what you do. What you're going to do is you are going to keep the first fraction the same, okay? Keep the first fraction the same. So let me write that out over here. So that'll be -3/4. Then we are going to change the operation from division to multiplication. So right over here. And then we are going to flip the second fraction. So here's the thing. You're looking at -2 and you're like, hey, coach, that is a fraction? No, it's not. It's a whole number, obviously. But remember that all whole numbers can be written as fractions. So you can honestly just say, hey, -2 is the same as -2/1. Easy does it. Easy does it. And so if you're dividing by a whole number, you're literally going to go ahead and multiply it in the denominator. Listen to that one more time. If you're dividing by a whole number, you're just going to multiply it in the denominator. How do I know? Watch this. So I'm going to flip right over here. I'm going to flip the -2/1. So this is going to become 1/-2, right? Oh, look at that. It's going to go ahead and multiply into the denominator. Exactly how I just told you it was going to happen. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and solve this, my party people. Let's go ahead and solve this here. We're going to multiply straight up. And as I've taught you, whenever you're multiplying fractions, you always want to make sure to check, do I have any common factors that I can kind of divide out with the numerator and denominator? Well, not really, because 3 can't go into 4 or 2. And 1 is just 1. So in that case, we're going to go ahead here and say -3 times 1, which is -3. Then we have 4 times -2, which is -8. Now we have a -3 divided by a -8. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, and so our final answer is 3/8. Right there. So that's just one example. Now if you're confused right now and you're saying, well, they're not always going to be whole numbers, coach. What if we have a fraction divided by an actual fraction? Okay, look no further than right over here. I got you. Look, if you're frustrated about raising your score right now, if you feel like you're studying but you're not exactly remembering what you're supposed to, or suffer from test anxiety and blank on word problems a lot, then go ahead and text me directly. Here's my number, 567-698-8867. I'm Coach Anderson. I have a full program that's going to help you succeed. So go ahead and shoot me a text and say, hey, coach, I want to learn more about the program. And I'll go ahead and explain how all of it works. That way you can stress less about this test, enlist with the job you want, and possibly get that bonus check too. And so, with that said, go ahead, shoot me a text. Let's learn more about it, and let's get you in the right position to succeed. Let's keep going. So, let's take a look. We have 2/3 divided by 3/5. Now, a lot of the times, some folks will think that you can go ahead and simplify right away. Remember, simplifying first only happens when you're multiplying fractions. We are not multiplying them yet. We have to do the keep, change, flip first, and then we'll see if we can simplify. This is easily one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they'll go ahead and say, oh, look at that. I can go ahead and, cross out the 3's because it's one on top, one on bottom. No, no, no. It's dividing right now, not multiplying. Again, you gotta wait till you're dividing. So watch this. I'm gonna go ahead, perform my keep, change, flip. Let's go ahead and just write this over here. KCF, I'm getting hungry now. Okay. So we're gonna keep, change, flip. Let's go ahead and do this right here. So in purple, we're gonna keep this right over here. We're gonna keep this. So 2 over 3 stays the same. Then we are going to change this to multiplication, and then we are going to flip the other fraction. Because remember, division is the same as multiplying the reciprocal. That's all that means. Division is the same as multiplying the reciprocal. So basically, if I'm dividing by 2, that's the same as multiplying by half. If I'm dividing by 10, that's the same as multiplying by 1/10. It's really the same. Again, multiplication and division are the same operation, just different directions. And so to see division, we just go the different direction, but the opposite symbol, which basically cancels itself out and still gives you the right answer. So here we go. We will flip the 3 over 5 to make it 5 over 3. Nice and easy. Now we ask ourselves, do we have anything that we can simplify now that we're multiplying the fractions? And now you'll see that you do not. The 3's are together on bottom, not one on top, one on bottom. You see what I'm saying? Keep, change, flip first if you're dividing, and then perform the rules for multiplication, which means simplify first. And so with that said, nothing you can simplify. 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 3 is 9. And it looks like we're all done right there. Because I see 10 over 9 right here. So like I told you, we're going to go over a few different types of problems here. Let's start off with these fundamental ones, or the easy ones. And then we're going to get into, when we have mixed numbers involved and things like that. So here's a couple more. We have 3 over 10 divided by negative 5 over 3. Again, one of the biggest temptations I see is, oh, we can go ahead and simplify those. We can simplify those. No, you can't, because you're dividing. You got to make sure you keep, change, flip first, and then you'll be able to see any simplifications. So again, my party people, keep, change, flip. Here we go. Keep this the same right over here. So keep that the same as 3 over 10. Then we're going to go ahead and change from division to multiplication. And then lastly, we'll go ahead and flip right over here, right over there, and everywhere. 3 over negative 5. All right, sweet. Now the step is we're going to go ahead and just perform the multiplication. Is there anything we can simplify? No. 3 doesn't go into 10 or 5, and so that's it. We just go ahead and multiply straight up. 3 times 3 is 9. 10 times negative 5. Well, first of all, a positive times a negative, that's going to be a negative. 10 times 5 is 50. So we have 9 over negative 50, which is the exact same as saying negative 9 over 50. It's the same thing. And that's why the answer here is, again, C. Let's go ahead and go through number 4. And then after this, we're going to go ahead and go through some tougher questions. So here we have negative 1 divided by 7 over 4. Again, keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. Keep this the same. Negative 1. Change the operation to multiplication. Because again, dividing by 7 over 4 is the same as multiplying by 4 over 7. And again, the more practice you get, the faster you'll get at this. You'll get much, much faster. And we know that anything times 1 is itself. So here, we don't have to do much. This is still going to be 4 over 7, except we had a negative multiplied by a positive, and so that'll be negative. So negative 4 over 7. Right there. And so again, my party people, look, it's a process. That's all it is. Let me find some, 2 fractions being divided here. Let's try this one out here. So here we go. We have negative 4 over 3 divided by negative 5 over 6. Now I can start doing what's called, prediction here. I'm looking at a negative here and a negative there, and that tells me, hey, a negative divided by a negative or a negative multiplied by a negative, doesn't matter. It's still going to be positive. So I can predict that my result is going to be positive. And on second thought, beyond that, I also can tell this. We're going to have a 3 here, but that 6 is going to be up there. We're going to have a simplification when we actually flip this. So let's go ahead and get to it. One more time. Keep, change, flip. Let's keep this one the same. right here. So it's going to be negative 4 over 3. Then we're going to change right over here, that operation. And then we are going to flip the negative 5 over 6. Negative 5 over 6. So that's going to be 6 over negative 5. And so now from here, my party people, check this out. I noticed that I can divide the 6 and the 3 by 3. So that's going to end up giving me negative 4 over 1 times 2 over negative 5. This gives me an easier time because I'm dealing with those smaller numbers. And because of that, we're going to have ourselves negative 8, because negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. And 1 times negative 5 is going to be negative 5. So we have negative 8 over negative 5. And again, like I said before, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So this becomes positive 8 over 5. Nice and easy. And there we have it, my party people. And we can go ahead and look at this right in the eye and say, boom, I got you. But we're not done yet. I want to go ahead and take this over to mixed numbers now. So let's go ahead and get into it here. Let's go ahead and go to number, let's see where we are at. Where can we find some mixed numbers? There we have it. Number 41. Let's go and try this one out, my party people. Hey, before we get to crushing this problem, just wanted to remind you about my ASVAB All-Access Program. So if you have test anxiety, if you blank out on word problems, if you're frustrated and can't keep a solid study schedule, then this program is there to support you. Long story short, you're going to be able to text me whenever you need help. You get all of the classes and the recording so you can work around your schedule whenever you need to. On top of that, you're going to get access to over 2,000 practice problems that let you learn from every mistake by watching video solutions to those math questions. Not like a textbook where you have to figure it out on your own. On top of that, there are way more features like practice tests, study guides, flashcard sets, all that good stuff. So go ahead, either text me or check out the link either somewhere here in this video or in the description. That way you can keep raising your score and get the job you want, because that's what you're here for at the end of the day. Again, I'm Coach Anderson. Check out the All Access Program and sign up, and then keep going watching this video so you can keep crushing it. I'll see you there. So we got a mixed number being involved here. Now remember, whenever we have a mixed number involved with multiplication or division, just go ahead and turn them both, or one of them, however many you have, turn them into an improper fraction, then perform the multiplication or division or whatever. Then if you need to, turn it back into a mixed number if you need to. So here we go. So we have 2 over 9 divided by, and what my step is right now is I'm changing this into an improper fraction. How do you do that again? Well, easy. You'll do the 3 times the 4, so it's going to be 12, and then you add it back to the numerator. 12 plus 3 is 15. Boom. So you have 15 over 4. That was, again, what we just did here. We went ahead and turned that into an improper fraction. Now we'll go ahead and perform the keep, change, flip. So again, we keep this the same. We change from division to multiplication. And then we flip this from 15 over 4 to 4 over 15. And now we are good. So I'm going to ask myself, do I have anything in common that I can simplify before I begin? Well, not exactly, because 2 doesn't go into 9 or 15, and neither does 4. So in this case, there's nothing in common. Just go ahead and straight up multiply, and you're set. So 2 multiplied by 4, that's going to give me 8. 9 multiplied by 15, that's going to give me 135. You can use mental math there, or you can go ahead and just do 15 times 9, write it all out. Either way. But the answer there is going to be 135. So our final answer here is 8 over 135, and we are good. Booyah. Now let's go ahead and do another one here with a mixed number. Let's go ahead and do another one. Let's see if we can find one with 2 mixed numbers. Let's see. Do I have 2 mixed numbers anywhere? Yeah, we do. So let's go ahead and try this one out. Number 49. So we have 2 and 2/9 divided by 5 and 1/5. Again, nice and easy. We've learned all of these little steps, right? We've learned every step of the way. Let's first take these mixed numbers, turn them into improper fractions. Then we're dividing them. So keep, change, flip, and then have yourself a good day. Here we go. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and start here. So 2 and 2/9, 2 times 9 is going to be 18. Add the 2 is 20. So what we have here is 20 over 9 divided by, and then we'll take care of here, 5 and 1/5. 5 times 5 is 25. Add the 1 is 26. 26 over 5. So there we are. Now we'll perform our keep, change, flip, and we're good. So let's get to work. Keep, change, flip. We're going to go ahead and keep this one here the same. So we have ourselves 20 over 9. Then we're going to change the operation from division to multiplication right over there. Then we're going to flip and move forward from there. Flip that to get us over here, 5 over 26. And there we have it. So from here, we're going to go ahead and multiply. But ask yourself, do I want to do 9 times 26? I don't know what that is. You don't have to. You can go ahead and simplify first. How do you simplify? Well, take a look. I know for a fact that 20 and 26 are both divisible by 2. They're both even. So since they're both even, I'm going to go ahead and divide this one by 2 and this one by 2. And that's going to give me over here, that's going to give me 10 over 9 multiplied by the 5, and 26 divided by 2 is 13. All right. Am I done simplifying? Can I just straight up multiply now? Yeah, we can. We absolutely can. Because we have 10 times 5, 9 times 13, nothing that they have in common anymore. We're done. So multiply your heart away. 10 times 5 is 50. 9 times 13. Well, 9 times 10 is 90. 99 would be 11. 108 is 12. 117 is 9 times 13. Booyah. So we have 50 over 117. We know this is in simplest form. We're good. Answer is D. Look at that, man. We're having a good time. Like I'm really excited because you're at the last video here when it comes to dealing with the calculating procedures for fractions. You know, after this, you're going to be dealing with word problems, and that's going to be even better because once you realize that fractions are just numbers and you know how to do all of them, word problems are going to be cake because you're no longer looking at the word problem scared of the fractions. You're looking at the word problem really looking at the actual situation because you know what you're supposed to do when you know what operations you have to do with the numbers. It's really just a matter of figuring out what the story is about. And so with that said, let's go ahead and try one more out here. Let's see if we can find another one. Now let's go ahead and try out 3 2/5 divided by 2/5. So this is not one of those situations where you're like, oh, they're the same, cancel them out. No. It is not that way. We're going to go ahead and perform again the conversion from a mixed number to an improper fraction. Then we perform the division by doing the keep, change, flip. Then we see if we can simplify after we have it as a multiplication setup. And then we go ahead and perform the multiplication. And then if we need to turn it back to a mixed number, we will. So notice how I already know what that process looks like. And you will too. You absolutely will too, but we just need to go through the practice. Because if not, then we're not going to allow ourselves to commit this to memory. So here we go. 3 2/5. How is that going to turn into an improper fraction? Multiply the whole number by the denominator, 15. 3 times 5 is 15. Add it back to the numerator, 17. So we have 17 over 5 right over here. And that's going to be divided by 2/5. Then we're going to perform the keep, change, flip. And so we're going to keep the 17 over 5 the same. So keep that the same. Then we're going to change the operation from division to multiplication. And then we are going to flip. That's orange. I'll just go ahead and use light blue. Or actually, I just use blue, so I'll just go ahead and use purple here, no problem. And so we're going to flip right here, and that'll be 5 over 2. So from here, what do? Well, you might be looking at this and you might be thinking, I'm just going to go multiply straight across. Stop right there. What do you notice? We have a 5 up top and a 5 on bottom. Whenever you are dealing with a fraction, again, when you simplify first, you should be able to see right over here. 5 up top, 5 on bottom. We can divide out the 5 first to give ourselves an easier time. Because this is going to become 17 over 1 multiplied by 1 over 2. And guess how easy that can be? That's 17 over 2. But that's an improper fraction, and if you look, that answer is not going to be shown here, right? We have to turn this into a mixed number. I don't see it here. So we have to turn this into a mixed number, nice and easy. So you have to ask yourself, well, how many times does 2 go into 17? Well, you can just perform the division here if you'd like to. But with mental math, you'll see that 2 goes into 17 8 times with a remainder of 1/2, or 1 over 2. So here, 2 into 17, 2 goes into 17 8 times, because 8 times 2 is 16, and you have 1 left over. So remember, this right here is your whole number. That is your whole. And over here, this is going to be your remainder. That is your remainder. Boom. And so with that, your answer is going to be 8 with 1 out of 2 left over. 8.5 is your answer. 8.5 is the answer. And so my party people, there it is. Here's your worksheet. You have all of this going on. And remember, at the end of the worksheet, you are going to have the answer choices already corrected and listed there for you. So take advantage of that. Take absolute advantage of that, because I want you to take advantage of the idea that you can practice and get to the point where things are automatic, where you don't think about things or get nervous or really feel like, oh man, I suck at this, I'll never get better. You absolutely can. You have the opportunity to right here. And so if you're in the course right now, please make sure to move on to the next activity. It's going to be the worksheet. Try it out on your own. Get into it. Get to work. And then beyond that, if there's any lessons in this section for dividing fractions, watch it. If you see the speed drill, which you should see, try that out as many times as you need to build up your speed. And on top of that, look forward to doing those word problems now that you've gone through the whole progression for fractions. Again, I'm Coach Anderson. I'm happy to help you out. I want to see you raise that score and get smarter every day. So with that said, if you have any questions, let me know. But without further ado, it's up to you now to keep practicing and keep getting better. I'll see you later. Let's get it done.